All right, so let's just get to the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Um, we know what we the basic thing that we here to discuss.
Yeah.
Um, and that is the one that we know as DJ Vlad and the stance that he's chosen to take not only against Farrakhan, but really against all of us up here right now and against the black community, if you really break it down. Um, I think all of us up here at one time or another was accused of maybe protecting him or coddling him in some kind of way. Um, but whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, we all came together under the banner of solidarity, under the banner of staying on code with your people. And what might have been uncomfortable for some people, we still made it happen. So let's
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about the series of events and how it went down. And I mean, there's a lot of things that happened behind the scenes, I'm sure, with all of us as far as conversations that people don't know about. Okay. And things that were leading up to this. People think I just flipped on him um within a week or something like that. But there's a lot of things that's been leading towards this. So I guess for you, because you probably known him the longest.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess just tell us what brought you to this point. You know what I mean? That could even make you
Yeah.
take this stance right now.
Well, for me, I'm not gonna do like a lot of. I'm not here to bash him, because when I say I have a friendship with somebody, that's who I am. I've been loyal to a fault because that's just the person I am. If I call you my friend, then that's who you are to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. It's not gonna be me just saying a bunch of shit about him because it's not that. But I was disappointed in the stance, and it took me a minute to realize what his stance actually was, So I think that's what it was for me, because when it originally happened, I connected these brothers. I connected him with the Nation of Islam through my relationships. He had reached out to me a couple of times. He wanted to do interviews with Farrakhan, and I actually reached out, and a couple of times they was like, no, well, we're gonna try. They was trying to do it during 10-10-15 when we were doing the Billion Men's March, the anniversary, and I was with the minister and on tour with them while we were doing, because we were part of the organizing committee, and he was like, hey, can you get me an interview with Farrakhan? I was trying to get it done, but it just really wasn't no time, because he was doing so many other things. He actually was gonna do it, but it didn't come in. So he always asked to do that. So I actually hooked him up with my brother Don Enoch and was like, Don Enoch is somebody that if he can probably connect you better than I can. And then, from there, my brother Nuri Muhammad wanted to do an interview. I connected with Nuri Muhammad. And then they built their own little relationship. He started having them do security for him. So he was like, yo, I really, these are my guys. Like, yo, these is really good dudes. Like, boom. So I'm like, yeah, I told you, this is family. But he never, prior to anything, he had never expressed, I don't like the Nation of Islam. They say these things about my people. There's never been that. You understand? So that's why the original stance that I took, because I had never seen any preconceived hate towards the NOI or Minister Farrakhan. So when people say, yo, he intentionally do that, he was harboring things, I never seen that. You know what I'm saying? So when he came to me and this situation happened, it kind of threw me off. He didn't come to me. My brother Don Enoch, who I connected him with, had reached out to me and was like, yo, did you see the post that Vlad put up about the minister? So I'm like, no. I was here in Kentucky, So he called me. It's like 8-9 o'clock in the morning. So I called Vlad. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yeah. He said, yeah, this is what he said. And I'm like, that's not what he said, Vlad. Did you even see the interview? He said, He said, yeah, I got the video, man. It's like he's saying this, and then he started going into, they're saying that he was at Nick Cannon was at the minister's thing, and that's pretty much where it stemmed from, and those ideologies that he has about the Jews. Did you hear what Nick said about the Jews? Like, I couldn't believe Nick said. I said, maybe you don't believe he said it, but they learned that somewhere, Vlad. So whether or not you agree with it, it doesn't mean that he has a hate for you, but there's a learning process. So you have to do your research and sit down with that man and figure out where he get his research. I said, I don't know the information by that.
I told Vlad he's telling the truth. I said, what's the problem with what he's saying?
Yes, exactly. So I've never actually, exactly. I've never studied this. So that's not.
I know.
Exactly.
So I told Vlad. I said, y'all are not the real Jews. That's why you're called Jewish. Whenever you put the word "ish" on the end of something, that means kind of, sort of, kind of like he's gangster-ish. He's not a real gangster. He's kind of like a gangster. He's Jewish, kind of like a Jew, not a real Jew.
Johnny come lately.
The original people, the original Hebrews look like you and I. Okay? These people that we know now that they're showing us with the curls and all of that, that's going so hard for Israel and all of that, like, I'm sorry, but those are not the real Jewish people, the real Hebrews, the real Jews. And I said this to him prior to all the Farrakhan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What rubbed me the wrong way was when he got on the Breakfast Club. I think it was the Breakfast Club. Yeah. I was talking about, I'm a little disappointed in Nick. I want to talk to him first, though, and all of this type of shit. Like, huh? Like, I thought you wasn't even really down with the Jewish people like that. I thought you was an atheist. Like, I've literally seen Vlad eat pork. Like he ate pork sandwiches from the Vietnamese place. So what kind of, you're not really a Jew like that. So why are you getting offended? Like, and when I seen him getting offended by the Nick Cannon shit, it was telling. It was telling. And I was just like, And I said to him at that time, why are you even offended? Oh, well, I had people that died in the Holocaust, like 9 of my family members and all this type of shit. I go, really? You know what I mean? Like, and so now I'm just looking at him kind of funny, like, and yes, he's had I know him for having Nation of Islam security at times and all of that. Like, there was a time he wanted to do something. He needed security, and he asked me if I knew somebody, and I said, yeah, I know a guy that, he can carry legally and all of that. But he ended up going with the Nation of Islam guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. I don't need your guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I already called him and shit, but whatever. Cool. So then when he did the shit with the minister and all of that, I said the same thing. Like, yo, you ain't see the whole thing? Like that ain't what he said. And now I don't know if he acted in both, because in the conversation he acted like I was the first one telling him that there was more to it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what y'all. When I called him,
and when you called him, you sound like he said like you was the first one telling him.
Exactly.
What is it?
Yeah. So that's why I'm confused. Because when I'm listening to you, I'm like, so we had the same conversation with the man. Like, it's really confusing. So when I called him, I sent him the whole thing. I said, well, he said, I'm gonna watch it. So he called me back about 30 minutes later. He said, I did watch the whole thing. And yeah, he was talking about, the rock of truth, not actually physical, but it's still, you listen to him. I say, because you don't like what somebody's saying, Vlad, doesn't mean that you can lie and say they said something they didn't say. I said, so you don't have to like what he said, but you can't lie and say he said something else.
Right.
That's my whole thing. He said, yeah, so all right, I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put out a statement, and he said, I'm gonna take the thing down. I'm gonna write a statement, and I'm gonna say that that we try to be authentic here, and we don't really. We Vlad TV has never misquoted or intentionally did anything, and we try to do this. And although I don't agree with what the minister said, this statement wasn't true. I said, Vlad, cool, that's fine with me. As long as you don't misquote the minister. He said, all right.
All right, now he told me basically the same shit. Yo, after I talked to you, I talked to this one and that one, and you know what I did was I edited the shit and the same shit, and I put out a statement saying I didn't know blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told him, yeah, that's cool, but you probably should apologize. Nah, I'm not gonna apologize. This is good. Like, this is fine. Ray. Okay.
Wait, the bullying. Remember, he said, "I want."
Yeah,
that was later. That was later. The
bullied.
bullying. No, that was later. That was later when we were on the phone with him, and it got to the point
white
where
boy
I
shit.
had to like talk to him in a bully kind of fashion. That's when he said he wasn't going to be bullied. But at that point, he was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You know, look at how Nick looks. He's looking crazy. He keeps apologizing to everybody, and people are still not happy. Like, I'm not gonna go down that road. Blah blah blah. Ray. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fucking, be like, yo, I couldn't have forced the nigga at that moment to apologize or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think people inside the Nation of Islam were really more emotional about it than people that might not be in the Nation of Islam. Although we do look up to Farrakhan. He has raised a lot of us. He is a leader in general for Black people.